Alright, I will show you how to craft some of the pieces for Righteous Fire. So I've been asked what's my POB and stuff, and now I got my pieces. So I'll show you step by step how to craft every single piece, but for this video, it will be the helmet, the body armor, and the gloves. So I would suggest for if you're starting, you should buy Legacy of Fury boots, a Dawnbreaker, and a Death Rush. You can pause the video if you want to see what's the name of it. But yeah, those are the three pieces that are uniques. Usually really cheap. It will save you some time on crafting some stuff, and I actually think those are some of the best. The boots are Abyss. The shield is Abyss if you want to be tanky, and this is Abyss for mapping. Abyss meaning best in slot. All right, so we will start with the chest, so the body armor. We want a glorious plate for two reasons. First off, it's the best armor, and Righteous Fire and Juggernaut stack armor, so super useful to have the best base. And also, Glorious Plate has a hidden bonus that doesn't say on the item, but all the body armors, all the heavy body armors remove 5% movement speed, but Glorious Plate doesn't. So that's why we're using that one. So you want to make sure it's 6 link. This link is super cheap to get a 6 link because of Toda. It shits tons of them. And you want to make sure it's at least item level 81. The reason is that we want to be able to get a tier 1 chaos resist. Alright? So what I like to do for the body armor is just go to your RT crafting station and type in Fizz for physical and reforge a rare with a Fizz modifier. The reason we do this is that this is the bad mod, the mod we don't want. So if you see at the top, it has the physical tag, the reflex flex 5 physical damage. This is not the mod we're looking for. I'll show you what mod we're again. Now we got it, but sadly we got the other one too. See, the mod we're looking for is additional physical damage reduction. Okay. Uh, what we can do is maybe. So the life is cool, the cold is cool, so maybe we just go to our crafting station and then we craft armor. You can skip this step if you want. And then we go back here and then more likely, okay? So this will give us a chance to reroll all the mods and maybe get the same mods but different tier. Sometimes it works, sometimes it's just totally random. We'll see. Okay, so we kept the resist and the life and the increased armor, but not the reduced physical damage taken. So we will go back to step 1, physical, and then this is super cool. Okay, so we hit the maximum physical damage reduction because of the tier 1 is item level 86, and those body armor go for a lot way more, so that's why we're not using it. Tier 1 chaos resist with perfect resist too. Sadly, the prefixes aren't the best, but I'll show you what we can do to change those. Okay, so then we will go to if you don't have the currency to go further, you just craft percentage of armor and then you're done. Okay, and it's a pretty good starting body armor. Then you add some of the those so to get the implicits. I'll show you on the next step. Yeah, that's about it. But what we'll do is that we will use Eldritch Chaos Orb, okay? So what this does is that if Searing Exarch is dominant, it will reroll a prefix. So what we'll do is just use Searing Exarch here. Okay. Actually a good mod too. So Searing Exarch, so if the Searing Exarch is dominant, reroll prefixes. Dominant meaning that it's a higher tier, since there's one tier of Searing Exarch and none of either, it's actually considered as a higher tier. We just okay, so we pretty much got the same shit. But yeah, okay, it's fine. keep it for this. And then what we can do is just go to the bench and then craft something we don't want. So we don't want mana, right? So we craft mana, then go back to using some currency. Yeah, yeah. Okay, if Searing Exarch is dominant, add a prefix. Okay, if you don't have those, you can actually use the normal Exalted Orb is fine too. Those are just cheaper. So we'll add. But it gave us pretty shitty increased armor and stun and block recovery. That's fine though. And we craft percentage of armor. We can craft something better. 68 is fine. Okay. And then yeah, we just try to get something useful. So Ace, we're not playing with Ace. 5% chance to block spell damage is cool. So if we just check this body armor, for example, not taking in. If you remove this, 8 divine. I don't think that body armor is worth 8 divine, but if you were to buy it on the trade website, okay, like this sell for divine is way better than ours, but still, ours cost like under divine to make. So yeah, I would suggest crafting your own instead of going to the trade website and actually buying one crazy one. And yeah, this is a good start. So this is done for the body armor. Next step, the gloves. So for the gloves, we want to make sure we get armor base gloves, and it has a fractured increased life regeneration rate at least 18%, so tier 2 at least. And then we actually go into our essence tab. If you don't have essence tab, just use any essence that you have. And there's two ways to go about it. You can either fix your dexterity with it. I will actually find low on it, so I will. So fix your dexterity with it. So sometimes on the build you need dexterity, so that's a good way to go about it. Or a chaos resist. I will start with chaos resist, and then we'll see what happens. Okay. So as I said, this fracture modifier may what happens is that whatever you do to the item will keep it, and then you guarantee another item, the chaos resist, another mod node item. All right, so this is pretty much perfect. Those gloves are insane. We got really lucky, but what we're looking for is life on the prefix. Another resist, as I said, the chaos resist is guaranteed because of the if you see armor, 35% chance to get chaos resist. We're done with this, but we could have rolled a couple of times after. And yeah, so our suffixes are really, really good. Life is cool. So what we'll do next is just, again, craft mana. Let's see, mana. Okay. Craft mana. And then again, you want to use this. As I said, if you don't want to use this first, you can just use the regular Exalted Orb. I will use those because they're just cheaper. And then we slam exalt. Sadly, we got nothing good for us. Added damage to attacks we're not attacking. So okay. And then go back to bench. Replace the mod with what you actually want. If your auras are in your gloves, you can add AoE to your gloves, which is pretty cool. But from my setup, they're in my boots. So what I will do is just craft. Can go with craft armor, or what I like to do is craft while using a flask. Increase damage while you. And yeah, those gloves are pretty much done. Those would last you like for real time. The last step I would say is just get the right. So what we're looking for is not chaos damage multiplier. It's actually fire damage multiplier. We got fizz. Fire. Cool. So this is the Searing Exarch implicit we want. And then for the Eater of World, we actually want, this is cold exposure, we want fire exposure. Okay. Lightning exposure, cold exposure, cold exposure again. Yay, fire exposure. So then you can grab some uh, orb, blessed orb, and you can make sure you get the see that the implicit at the top is 5 to 7. So we'll try to get 7. 5, 6, 5, 6, 7. See, now we're done. And if we price check those, those will be like, even if I don't have the implicit on, okay, those is kill list. But if I have the implicit on, 3 divine, we did life regeneration, 8 divines, and yeah, it cost us like what? The base was like 50 chaos, and then some instances you could be. I got pretty lucky with essence, but a couple of essences, and then a couple of those two. So let's see if we're generous. Maximum, max. Uh, one divine, but I'd say like closer to 150 chaos, and they're pretty good, and you will be able to use them for a long time. All right, and then the last piece. So I actually skipped a step on this one. So the helmet, you want to make sure it's high armor base. The best two are Eternal Burgeonet and Royal Burgeonet. This is an Eternal Burgeonet. It's fine. And then, and you want to make sure you have the enchant. So the enchant, whatever we do to the item, it will not disappear, right? If we chaos it, the enchant stays on. So the enchant increase fire trap burning damage, right? Okay, so what we do now is just if it wasn't Elder already, we would use one of those. So Redeemer, Exalted Orb, Water Exorb. They're actually like 60 chaos or whatever. Use it on, and then go to our bench, and then type in influence and reforge. No, randomize the influence of an item. So there's 6 influence in the game. So Shaper, Elder, Crusader, Hunter, Redeemer, and Warlord. Okay. So whenever you reroll from one to another, you have one chance out of 5 to hit what you actually want to hit, because there's 6. So you start with one and then you reroll into another one, right? So that step I already did. And sometimes you get lucky, sometimes not. But yeah. And once you have the Elder, so you see it's an Elder, you want to use those Essence of Horror. So what we'll do is, again, Essences will guarantee a mod. So it will do on an helmet, Socketed Gems, deal 30% more elemental damage. Alright? Use it on. What we're looking for are two modifiers. So one is Socketed Gems is supported by a concentrated effect, and the other one is burning damage. If we get both of them, it's actually insane. If we get one, it's still usable, and it's pretty cool. We'll try again. Again. Oh, tier 1 chance to block is pretty cool. That element's pretty nice, but I will reroll it for the video. So now we're more out of Essence Horror. As I said in the previous video, you just use another Corrupted Essence and then reroll it. So those are worth more, so I will keep them, but those are not. Okay, so we have more. Alright, let's keep going. Supported by Immolate. Pretty cool, it's tier 1, but that's not what we're looking for. Minion damage actually works, but no, that's not what we're looking for. Hey, concentrated effect, okay? Though the other rolls are pretty bad, but still we'll keep it. Okay. And then since that one has influence, we can't use those, right? So as always, there's only 4 mods, so you can again craft something and then just slam. So I will craft chaos, or actually like AoE. Yeah, AoE is cool. AoE, and then exalt slam. You can't use that one. Okay, so you have to use those, and then exalt slam and hope for the best. So okay, we hit super big. So we actually got ultra lucky. we actually hit the burning damage, which is the best mod that we could have gotten. So yeah, normally like if I price check this, okay, those. If I look at just what we add, right? Let's look at the gems, concentrated effect, and then the increased. Let's look at the gems, elemental damage. It's already 3 divine, right? Even more because we have like this, maybe 4 divines. But we actually got super lucky and actually hit the tier 2 burning damage. So it's worth like 15 divine. So it maybe even 20 close. Well, I would say 15 to 20 divine. So this is something that can happen. That's why I always tell people to craft their own gear. Because you can actually get lucky. So yeah, that's about it for this craft. Now, if let's say, and the reason why you wanted those Sukade gem are supported by is that you want to use your righteous fire in your helmet and your fire trap in your body armor. So the next step I will do is just since we need to for our example for our build, but maybe yours is different, but this is what we do for. If you're using righteous fire efficacy, uh, elemental focus, and empower. So what you want to go for is 3 blue, red, right? So there's a neat trick you can do to change the color of your sockets. So if you look at this, it requires 138 strength. So on normally it would be way easier to roll red sockets than blue sockets, right? But we need 3 blue sockets. So what you can do is just uh, make it 2 sockets and then blue, at least 2 blue sockets. So now we have 2 guaranteed blue sockets, right? And then we go to sockets again and we go to 3 sockets, to 2 sockets until we hit our third blue. Okay? Takes it's maybe long, but it's the cheapest way to do it. Third blue, and then we go for 4 sockets, and bam, we have our colors. Okay. So we quality it. This double also. Yeah. Just make sure that you always it says on the item, but actually right click this item to then left click a socketed item to apply it. The item quality increase the chance of obtaining more sockets, and the same goes for the links. So you always want to quality your items first, and then use fusings. Yeah, we're done. We can stash all those. And yeah, with a few, like, I'd say maybe 3 or 4, maybe 5 divines worth of item, we actually crafted our gear, which is for 30 something divines. So, alright. And as I said before, whenever you get something good for someone else, just put it aside, list it at a high price, and start with another base. Alright, guys, take care.